Okay, so great. So let's get started immediately. So the first thing I want you to check and reconfirm again is that you're seeing my screen. Once you can see my screen, give me feedback and then we fly. That's the final feedback I want. You can see my screen and then we fly. Great. So I remain who I am. I'm Bulu Kwade. Right. I'm a seasoned real estate investment strategist. I help you gain the highest ROI with the least risk possible. Right, I'm CEO of Zee Realty, right, and we're a company who is targeted towards easing the stress in the acquisition of real estate investments for Gen Zs. So let's fly on. How do you find um, genuine properties to sell? So, okay, give me a second. Right here. I think we should have some touch points for you. So if you're trying to reach us at Zee Realty, you send us Instagram, Zee Realty HQ, or it's 234-810-9045. Please send a message or WhatsApp alone, right? WhatsApp or Telegram. It's just basically not calls. Let's fly. So we're looking at a very important training today, and that's how to find genuine properties to sell as a realtor. Let me pause and ask, has So I was asking, can you hear me? I was asking, has this been anybody's challenge? You actually don't know where to find anything to sell. If this has been your challenge, type challenge. You don't know where to get what to sell. If this has been your challenge, type challenge. So you know that there's money in selling houses or selling property or whatever. But the question is, will I just go to a house that they're building? I say, sir, I promise, if you allow me, I can sell your house. Just give me. And you go to a big duplex, right? So you ask yourself, how do I get property to sell? I remember coming into real estate, and this was one of my greatest challenges because I needed to be to sell something. And when I came, I asked a big man in the industry. I know he told me, he said, pay for my course. How much was his course? I think 150,000 naira. I didn't even know what was in the course. He wasn't even interested in helping me. All he wanted to do was to collect money from my hand. And that's part of why I said we're going to set up a tribe that's going to help young people to overcome these challenges. So who is a realtor, basically? Right? I like to define a realtor simply as this. A realtor is somebody who connects demand and supply. Period. Connects what? Everybody's demand and what? Supply. It's very simple. People who want to buy, people who want to sell. You can match them up. Usually, there'll be a fraction which is called your commission, right? Some people call it incentive. And it's usually a fraction of the property you sell. So what do I mean? They'll tell you something like, okay, if you can close this deal, you get 5%. Can close this deal, you get 10%. So it's usually a fraction. So I like to call realtors the demand and supply connector. That's simply my own definition of a realtor. So it's a real estate demand and supply. Why I say demand and supply is because it can be anything. It can be commercial. It can be a rent property. You help somebody to, find a good house he wants, and then, the owner can be short, anything. Right? So demand can be in any form, supply can be in anything. It can be supply. You help somebody who has a complex, right? And somebody who needs a shop, somebody with a shopping complex, somebody needs a shop, and then you connected them, right? But here is it. Real estate has a very big challenge, which is the liquidity problem. The nature of real estate is not such that it's easily liquidated. So what do I mean? If I buy a property today, or let's use another asset class. If I buy a stock today, I hear me. So let's say I buy stock, meta stocks or whatever. Tomorrow, I literally can go to an application and press sell. Right? It's made so easy such that I can get my money back almost instantly. However, that's not the case for real estate, because when you are ready to sell, there may not necessarily be somebody who is willing to buy. And even when there's somebody willing to sell, another person willing to buy, there are many other issues: price, trust. Are you following me? And all of those other things. Location. Okay, I want a 4-bedroom house. I have a 3-bedroom house. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want a land that is 1,000 square meter. You have 1,000 square meter, but now it's more than my budget. Okay, now I found what is my budget. But the question is, can I trust you? I don't know you from anywhere. What if you are scamming me? Okay, I found the land that is 1,000 square meter, but I trust you, but now the documents are not complete. Are you with me? Or when they went to go and do the land search, they found out that A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you see a whole deluge of plus and minuses here. So it has a very serious problem of liquidity, right? So because of that inherent nature, that inherent problem, are you following me? The main guys, or it opened up a space for guys who can solve that problem. So it's almost like trade by barter. Imagine I had the yam and another person wanted yam but had rice. And imagine there was somebody who could always match make everybody. Right? That guy was going to be a really relevant guy. So the core thing that these guys saw, because of the nature of this, then realtors began to multiply and multiply and multiply. Are you with me? And in a place like Lagos, where there's a housing boom, is there really a housing boom? No, there's no housing boom, sorry. There's a housing deficiency because of a population boom. Because of a population boom. Right? So the people that are coming to Lagos are much. Right? We're having other places having population boom, but Lagos seems to have the highest. Are you with me? So because of that thing happening again and again, it means there is heavy demand. Are you with me? And as houses are being constructed, these people want to be able to focus, build their houses, have people bring demand to them, and they don't mind giving you a commission. So the question is, how can I find demand? Everybody type that question if you're following me thus far. How can I find demand for those who want to supply and make a commission of it? I want you guys to type that if you're with me. How do I find demand? How do I find how do I find supply? Sorry, this is not meant to be demand. Supply is going to be how to find people to buy. So this is how to find people who actually have these properties. I just came back from a search. We're having some upgrade of some areas, just so we can do. By the way, we're going to be changing our mode of delivery of Zee Trybe very soon. Going to be actual live streams where you see me come up, right? So I can interface with you, show you my fine face, have the privilege of seeing my fine face, and all of that. Does that make sense? So just get ready for that, right? And so basically, as I said, how do you find supply? 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 You want to ask yourself something. So, like I said, we're out, checking, upgrading the space and all of that, just to ensure that you guys have some quality time when we're streaming. And we're looking for some materials here and there. We're looking for some things. And I just jokingly said, how many of you know that as we looked around, we didn't find, we had to order from somebody. So, as we're praying to find, are you aware that there are some that are praying to find us? How many of you know that? As we were praying to find somebody to buy, there's somebody who is praying to find to sell. Are you with me? So people who are building are praying to find people to buy. And there are people who are looking for houses in this Lagos. And trust me, they are praying to find the kind of house that they want. Are you with me? So finding supply. Let's look at it quickly. What are the methods to finding supply? Everybody type direct approach. I'm going to teach you 3 methods today, right? Some of you literally by the end of this call, I guarantee you have more than 100 properties to sell. The end of this call, not prophecy, it's not prayer. By the end of this call, I have more than 100 properties to sell. So what's direct approach? Direct approach is very simple. How many of you have seen where they're building houses and then they put a banner, you see something like this, to let or to lease, right? Or for sale. You've seen where this kind of banners are. Great. Usually, this is what we call direct approach, and it's very simple. I'm a builder. Can you hear me? I think somebody's microphone is on. Please always check your microphone. Adeko, okay, please mute your microphone. Please mute your microphone, Adeko, okay. Thank you. Back to us. So I'll say something. So look here. I'm person A. I'm building a house. Me, the B person is the realtor. The realtor simply goes to person A and says, I can sell this house for you, give it to me. That's it. Right? So usually where this direct approach comes in, pay attention, is in most cases when you have somebody who is an investor. Pay attention. So let's say I have billions and I buy 10 houses. So usually I'll have what we call an agent who is managing the properties for me. Does that make sense? So sometimes you can go and directly meet people who are like that and ask, okay, I want to sell your houses for you. But that brings us back to the initial problem. How do I now find the people who have that? Are you with me? I'm going to run through all of them. So direct approach. So you meet, and usually that's why you can see the about. So let's talk about the pros. The pros is very simple. Number one is negotiability. So it's very simple. I don't know if that's a real word, but you get what I'm saying. If I'm the one meeting you, I say I can sell this property for you. Give me your property. Like I had a story of somebody so I built a house, right? Let's say I'm jackpot or something. Now my house is there, right? I can get an agent. So agent be in charge of this house. So the agent will be the one to find and all of that and all of that. So you can be that person. So what's negotiability? It's very simple. The person says, anytime you get somebody to this house, let's say rent, anytime you make a sale, I'm going to give you 10%. You can say, no, I don't want 10%. I want 15%. The person says 7.5%. You say, no, I want 10. So there is a lot of negotiation that can happen. That's the first advantage. The number two is exclusive marketing rights. So what does this mean exactly? Usually, when that person gives their property to you, you are the only one that can market that property. Does that make sense? So even if somebody comes to ask, the person, owner of the house will direct the person, usually to the agent. And that's why they can take their banner and put it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So anybody who ever wants to get that house, are you following me? Has to go through you. Are you with me? Right? And let me tell you, one advantage of this is that if it's in a good location, so a location that is open, that is in demand, once you put that banner there, usually boom, it solves the problem. They're going to call you and they're going to come to you. Does that make sense? So you have exclusive rights. And the third thing is long term. So if I worked with agent A and agent A was able to help me, maybe got me a good customer to get into my property. Now I buy another property. Let me ask you guys, who do you think I will give? Is it agent A or agent B? Another agent. There's a high chance that I would stay with you. Are you following me? Now, let me follow out this. Are you aware that rich people flock together? How many of you know that? The average, you will not see Warren Buffett talking to or flocking with. You get what I'm saying? So usually, the association of wealthy people are wealthy people. So, if imagine we're having a conversation, right? Says, oh, that my house. There's this super agent who delivered it in 2 months, in 1 month, and all, and all, and all, and all, and all. Are you following me? Then he's saying, me too. I have 10 houses. So bring it now. That agent is good. He will get people there. Blah, 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 blah. You just rest and the money will be coming into your account. So it's usually a long-term thing. If you deliver consistently, are you following me? You have no issues. Are you with me? But here are the cons. It's very difficult to find. Now, you are probably a beginner realtor. You're just starting off. The question I'm asking you now is, how on earth will you go and meet a billionaire? So let me sell for you. Because you probably don't have buyer's demand yet. Are you with me? So it can be difficult to find sometimes. So people who usually at this point are very experienced realtors. Are you following me? So what happens is, because they've seen that you have been selling ABCD, they'll now come and meet you. I want to call names, but I don't want to give people unnecessary publicity. I would have said, check out these people. These people usually are like that. So they're usually difficult to find. And number two, they usually require track record. They require track record. Are you with me? So you are just starting. You go and meet a big man. Let's say you know somebody who has conscience. You say, I will get this property. I'll get somebody there. I'll get somebody to buy it in 3 months. The question is, how can you guarantee you get somebody in 3 months? Are you with me? You want to go. So usually requires track record. And they will not just give you the property because you are looking nice. Are you with me? They won't give you because you are looking nice. You have to prove, okay, what have you done? Don't worry, just trust me. Just trust me. I cross my heart. I promise. I promise. I will sell it. I promise. No, it doesn't work that way. So these people, they're not people who are looking to joke with their properties. Imagine somebody has 50 properties. You who has not done anything in your life. Are you with me? He will now give you all his 50 properties. I should help and manage. No, it doesn't work that way. Right? And usually you have to do what there are problems of self-search. So, before coming to this webinar, there was somebody who approached us and wanted us to do this for him. So the question is, first of all, let me pause and say, are you aware that property is a very delicate thing to work with? And what do I mean? Do you know, there was a news that went around that in a shortlet, how many of you know what a shortlet is? If you know what a shortlet is, start shortlet. In a shortlet, they caught a guy in a shortlet. And they see my drawing, amazing. Now the guy was with drugs. It was a news that went out. The guy was with drugs in the shortlet. Now, because that happened, I think they said they took the agents, arrested the agents, and arrested the house owner. So me, I just built house. I give agents something. Probably the agent didn't profile or agent didn't search, and now, can you imagine? I'm going to jail because I have house. So it's really, really, so there's something we call self-search. So that's even when we're talking about the rent side. So imagine you're an agent running a shortlet. I remember one time we were about to go for a meeting somewhere, and I think I was to stay with some team members, and I wanted to get a shortlet, and they were telling me I need to drop my passport. Me, that have trust issues with the average person in Nigeria. What do you want to use my passport for? I should drop a means of identification. And that international passport is my primary means of identification. So I should send them a picture, right? But I understood why. Eventually, we didn't get to use that place because I felt that was extreme, right? I felt that was extreme. I can't give you guys my passport, but I mean, I know where they're coming from. They had to put measures like that to be safe. So where I'm getting to is that kind of search has to happen. Let's even leave that one. The second one is somebody brings a building to you. Somebody brings a land to you, says, I own this land. Help me and sell it. The first thing you have to do, and we're going to talk about that, we have a series lined up for that. You're going to have to do your due diligence. Is this guy the true owner? For example, sometimes it's a family property. And in family property, usually you need about 3-4 people to decide. So let's say the property was willed to the family. Now, the firstborn, the second, the third, the fourthborn. Now, the firstborn doesn't inform the remaining three or the remaining four, and he wants to sell the family property. Now you are the agent he came to, and now you found the buyer. The buyer bought family property. After I bought it, Wahala started. Can you see what I'm talking about? Are you with me? So, sometimes you're going to do your search in the land, and you find out that the person who claims to be the owner is not the owner. And if you participate in selling that kind of property, EFCC will carry you. It's a fraud. Are you following me? How many of you understand what I'm saying? The picture I'm saying, you're seeing the intricacies now, right? How many of you understand what I'm saying? So these are the kind of things that you're going to encounter, right? In direct, it's really problematic sometimes. And the last one is preparation of marketing materials. So now, how many of you, and we're going to talk about marketing. It's a whole phase, about 6 weeks of training on that. We're going to bring some external people to help you. How many of you are aware that? Or let me ask. How many of you have gone to these stores in maybe anywhere they're selling clothes, and they will buy a mannequin, right? That's this immovable guys. When they buy the mannequin, they will put the cloth on the mannequin, right? Just to make you have a feel of how the clothes will look. Does that make sense? Now, sometimes, how many of you know that when the cloth is folded and when the cloth is on the mannequin, sometimes it looks finer on the mannequin. If you probably had not seen it on the mannequin, you won't be as compelled to buy it. And so, marketing, sales, usually, okay, the guy has given you the building. You have to create good pictures. You have to be the one to work. Imagine you're creating professional videos. How many of you have seen those realtors on I'm sure if you have been searching for Realtor, you have been seeing Realtor ads on Instagram. If you've seen Realtor ads on Instagram, type Instagram. Let me see. You're seeing any Realtor ads on Instagram. So, how many of you know those equipments are very expensive, right? For example, at the time of this training, if you're going to get a mini drone, that's to take just headshots of the building to make it look really nice. Just the drone, I think you're going to have about 1.2, 1.3 million. So if you're starting Realtor and you don't have any money, well, how are you going to generate good things? You go there and take picture with your phone. It won't look so professional, right? So all of that those are the challenges you're going to face, right? If you're going direct. The second way you can go through is, I call the direct the hardest way for a starting Realtor. Right now, this is the semi-harder way. The easiest way, obviously, is at the end. Semi-hard, semi-HRD. So the real estate development companies. So now, in the other one, it's usually a person that owns, the properties. Now, here, pay attention. I use my words very carefully. I said real estate development, not real estate companies. So, who are real estate development companies? These ones just build in mass and sell. So they're always. I didn't say because development companies. Not every real estate company is a developer. Or not all real estate companies are developers. Some companies are not developers. They just sell land. Are you with me? Some companies sell for other companies, but the ones that are building, are you with me? Developing estates. So what happens is they just build the houses in mass. You've seen all these houses. If you stay on the island, it's really popular. All of them look the same. How many of you are seeing what I'm talking about? Right? Some I think they call them housing estates. So all of them, they just look the same because the developer just builds all of them together. Are you with me? So what happens is because of this nature of development, they are always building houses in advance, hoping to sell. Right? They sell off plan. We'll talk about what off plan designer. So real estate companies are always like that. So what you can do is very simple. You can search for. I remember doing this jokingly seriously when I first started. I went to Google and I said top 10 real estate companies. I don't suffer small for this business. Real estate companies in Lagos. And then I got a review from somebody. And what I did was the 10 of them, I went to their Instagram page. When you go to their Instagram page, you DM them. Hello, sir, I want to be a realtor for your product. They'll be excited. This is somebody who wants to sell for them. So what they'll do is either they'll send you to a website or they'll give you a form to fill. And when they are done, usually they'll add you to a WhatsApp group. And like that, all of their properties you can sell. Quite simple, right? If that's simple, type simple. I just showed you how I did it. Not many people will tell you how practically do this, but I mean, there's some inner one or two. Okay, so it's quite simple. Top 20. So you can put it to where you are. Now, here is it. The pros is consistency. Why did I say consistency? Remember, if person A has only one house in the direct approach and you sold that house, he probably doesn't have any house again. If he has 10 houses, that's finished. But these guys, once they are done with the project, they're moving to the next. Once they're done with the project, they're moving to the next. Are you with me? Now you have to be very cautious because all that glitters is not gold. I have seen premium rubbish with some real estate companies. They look really nice. They have big offices. They are doing this. They are doing that. I cannot even tell you what I have seen. A chunk of these companies are in debt. I think one of the largest construction companies in China, they just shut them down because they're in debt. In China. So you have to be cautious because if you sell a property that has problem, you will most likely enter problem. Are you with me? So the core advantage here is consistency. So by the time they're done with one, they have another one. By the time they're done with another one, they have another one. Now they have marketing materials available. Let me see if okay, look at this, everybody. Can we see my screen? Can we see my screen? Can we see my screen? You can see what's on my screen. Type it. So can you see this is a poster by a real estate company. Right, the name is Floral Gardens. It's a pre-launch property currently selling out. Now look at how this poster is. Let me see if I can annotate here. Give me a second. Okay, should be able to write here. Okay, so can you see this? Floral Gardens. Pre-launch price 1.7 million, 300 square meter. That's almost half a plot. 2.7 for 500 square meter. Can you see? They tell you the title, although you probably always have to confirm your title. We're going to talk about JJS. Initial deposit of 500k. So if you have 500k now, you can deposit for this property. The prices are all inclusive with no interest, and they say road network, power light, street light, advanced security, modern gatehouse, good worker. Development by who? Grand Duke. Can you see this? What is this? This is a marketing material. So imagine somebody asks you, they say, oh, do you have any property to sell? Imagine you went to the direct approach. You first of all have to design all of this. But you can just throw this person a poster. Oh, yeah, I have a property. Right? It's fine. By the way, I'm not selling this property to you guys. So just saying. But if somebody wants to buy your comments, by the way, yeah, even so you get what I'm saying. You sell deposit 500k, you deposit 500k, and then you balance it. So look at how detailed, look at how nice it is. Let me pause and ask you guys: if you can design like this on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your design skills. Let's pause and do that. Rate your design skills on a scale of 1 to 10. Come on, don't be ashamed. Rate your design skills. Right? You know how much it takes to do this. Now look at this. They even have a payment plan. So they're saying, okay. So somebody asks you, oh, do I have to pay everything at once? You say, no, you don't have to pay everything at once. If you're paying 0 to 30 days, you pay 1.7. That's for 300 square meters. If you're paying 3 months, you pay 1.8. If you're paying 6 months, you pay 1. All of this is available. Are you with me? You don't have to really clamor for marketing materials. So he says, okay, are you with me? So what you do in direct is you create. What you do in this one is you study the property and research the property. Are you with me? So you're studying the marketing materials. Look at this. This is a picture of the plots currently. How many of you can see it? Right? So this is it. Can you see they have cleared it? Now, let me ask you guys, how do you think this shot was taken? Okay, no, this is Trevor City, not this Trevor City. This one is 4 million. So the question is, how do you think this shot was taken? It was taken using the drone. So do you know what the property is? This property is in Ekpe. So I have a question. Some of you will start, and then your parents or whoever you're living with, or you may not even be in a state where the property is. However, you can have real-time updates of the property. Can you see that? Somebody says, I want to see a picture of the land. You send them this. Do they have payment plan? You send them that. Does that make sense? Are you following me? So this company is grand deal. Don't worry, I'm going to show you guys how to plug in. Right? So usually they have marketing materials. Number 3 is scale advantage. What scale advantage? You're just starting off. Imagine you're just starting off as a realtor. So now you say, can we go for inspection? You don't have a car. Where will you start from? And how many of you know that usually when people want to invest massively, they want to be sure. Somebody wants to pay 100 million for a property. He wants to go to a physical place. So he asks you, do you have, anyway, when we do marketing, we're going to have these conversations. They say, do you have an office? Say, yeah. Do you have an office? How many of you have offices here? If you're starting with, you probably may not have an office. But I want to say, do you have an office? Yeah, the company has an office. We can go to the office of the company to go and check. Can you have twisted the the question? Yeah, we can go. So you go to the office. Now you go to their office. What would they see? Probably a big office. They see AC. They see order. And their minds at peace. Oh yes, these guys are regional. Can you see that? Say, oh, let's go to the property. Say, no problem. I'll schedule an inspection. You place go to the real estate company, book an inspection. You say, oh, let's meet at the office. We'll go from the office. The car will take you to and fro. Are you with me? Sometimes you don't have car. The people are saying, okay, no, don't worry. You get to the place before the client. So the client will notice that you don't have car. Because we'll talk about all this. And then when you go, say, oh, no problem. I want to just have a conversation with the person. When they go, you enter your bus, enter your bike, and then boom, you have gone to your house. You know, those days when we started, that's how we used to run it. Right? So you have those advantages of those companies. But in the first one, the guy gives you his property. If you like, bring somebody for inspection. Are you with me? And all of that. So, and that's important because are you aware that people will not give you the money that you don't look like? Oh God, I wish I can talk about some marketing here. There's a difference between packaging and faking. Packaging is the optimization of presentation when substance is absent. Are you with me? That's false fake life. While packaging is the optimization of presentation with the substance present. Very important. People will not give you money that you don't look like. Are you with me? How many of you have had it before? You wanted to pay for something. Are you with me? And because of the way the person was, this guy looks suspicious. This guy looks suspicious. And there are other times you wanted to pay for something, the guy came in his suit. You, no, this one cannot steal my money. Are you hear what I'm saying? So that's how people think. We're going to talk about marketing a lot when we get into that module. Right? But if we talk about marketing, what do you want to market in the first place? Right? So you have advantage. Number 4 is marketing and closing assistance. So some companies will say, okay, you have a client. So you just started. You don't know how to market yet, right? All you know is that one rich uncle, one rich auntie is interested, one rich friend is interested. Okay, you call the company. These people are going to call you now. They are from me. Talk to them, and then because the company wants to sell, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to talk intelligently and optimally to help you sell. So, and the fifth is track record advantage. So one of the things that you always get questioned, are you with me? As a starting realtor, is how long have you been in business? Are you with me? Now, you that just started yesterday, how many of you have noticed that to get a job, you need experience? And to gain experience, you need a job. How many of you have seen that before? So everybody wants somebody who has worked before. So where everybody go start? All of that, the 5% will get experience. Where we're going to start? Are you following what I'm saying? If you're following me, type I'm following. This is very important. So, oh God, marketing is in my blood. I live, I breathe marketing. So, at the beginning, what you can do is rely on the track record of the company you're marketing for. Are you with me? Oh, so somebody says they want to buy this. So, okay, no problem. Yeah, we have. Can you see? It has changed from I have to we have because you're a partner with the company. You are a realtor for the company. Yeah. We have a track record of about 20 years. This company has delivered about 10 estates. Are you with me? And then a turnover of about 500 million yearly. Can you see that? Now, somebody who wants to invest 2 million is confident. And they say, oh, we just delivered Trevor Estates there now. We just delivered this one. We just delivered this one. We just delivered this one. Check now. All of them are relocated. I'll show you the picture, self. I was there when they were allocated. I'll show you the pictures. And the person is more confident. Are you with me? But in the first one, you don't have anything to show track record. Does that make sense? So that's the pros of this one. You have the track record to rely on while you are still growing your own track record. But the cons is sometimes they can be difficult to find. Sometimes genuine ones can be difficult to find. Let me run. Number two, I think it's an error. It's an error. It's an error, please. Anyways, I'm the preparer of the slides. The the knowledge is in my head. I'm not reading from somewhere. So allow me to just where am I? Okay. Allow me to just give you some cons of this. So some of the cons here is very simple. These guys have fixed commissions. Fixed commissions. So you can't negotiate. How much they give you is how much they give you usually. Sorry, fixed commissions. How much they give is how much they give you. If you give you 10%, 10%, you can't go and say you want 20%. Unless you are a demand spinner. You know, there's a company like that. Well, I don't really talk like this outside, but there are some particular companies we work with. I mean, because of how much volume we generate for them, I went to them, went to their manager, went to their CEO, and that's why you have to be really good at what you do. I said, listen, you can't give us what you are giving everybody. Are you hearing me? I said, you can't give us what you are giving everybody. Are you guys hearing me? I said, you guys should double what you are giving me. Are you with me? Double what you are giving me. It has happened at least twice in my career where I go to the MD directly and I request that they double what they are giving me. And they do it. I mean, there was a point in time this year, for a particular company that we're in partnership with, they said they are reviewing their policy or so. They're reviewing their policy and then they're reducing all the commissions back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I said, no problem. We terminate our contract. And that's it. They were so scared. They called me back. Don't worry. We'll keep you on the wait. Are you guys following what I'm saying? Keep your wages. As I was speaking, there's a company that's preparing the documents, right, for us. They said, oh, we wanna have a special contract with you. Right? So that's beyond the doubled commission, a different special contract with you because we see you're good at what you do. Are you following me? So usually, where was I? The con of this is I told you core challenge here is fixed commission, and then usually you are constrained. Why is this thing running to? So fixed commission. Number two is constraint. So what do I mean by constraint? Oh boy. I love marketing, by the way. So I'm almost always moved. Now, some days you are constrained. What do I mean by you're constrained? Because listen, when you start marketing, one of the first things you do when you meet a potential client is you ask what we call qualifying questions. That's qualifying questions. So ask qualifying questions. You ask questions to know what exactly the client needs. For example, somebody who is looking solely for investment in land, there are certain places, somebody who is looking for a house, somebody who wants to rent. So when you ask qualifying questions, you're able to determine the needs of that person. Because what person A needs is not what person B needs. When you determine the needs of that person, then you are able to now bring products. So remember, you are a demand and supply connector. You find demand and then you supply the demand you have found. But this is it. Let's say the company that you have, the only thing they are selling is they have only one estate in Ekpe. Let me ask you a question. Are you aware that everybody you meet, you'll be trying to get them to buy only that one estate? So you are constrained. Are you with me, guys? Are you following what I'm saying? You are constrained to deliver only one thing. So you find out that you are not actually selling or meeting the need. You are only concerned in selling the brand. Do you hear what I just said? Come on, do you hear what I just said? So you're not more concerned in meeting the need. You're not concerned only in selling the brand. And then, in the long run, you'll give people what they don't need. People won't trust in you. And there'll just be a lot of confusion sometimes. So that's another challenge that can come up there. And sometimes some companies are not honest. They don't pay their realtors. I know companies like that. You will sell, they promise you 10%. Now, the person has paid. They are speaking English. So those are some of the issues that you may face. Are you receiving value? Those facts. You're receiving value, time value. Now, I'm going to give you guys something that will save your life in real estate. Save your time in real estate. Oh boy. The third one, this is the gold. Everybody type Realtors Network. Type it again, type Realtors Network. I'll show you some things you guys will be very surprised. This makes your life easy. So when I came after struggling, one of the things I found out is that they were what we call Realtors Network. When I saw this, it gave me a lot of ease. Now, someone asked, sir, which of the three methods you use? I use all of the three. I have direct properties I'm selling for, big men. I have what's the second level, Jerry? I have direct companies, right? One of them that you just saw was Grand Duke. I can't mention some of these companies' names to you. I actually can, but I don't have that. And number two is Realtors Network. I'm part of a community of many Realtors Networks. So what are Realtors Networks? Very simple. There are certain companies, their own is very simple. They say, real estate companies, all of you, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All of you need demand, Abby. There's no problem. We will gather plenty people. We will train them. Are you with me? We will train them. We will teach them. We will guide them. We will coach them. We will form a Realtors network or Realtors group. Are you following what I'm saying? So all of you real estate companies, this company bring your products, that company bring your product, this company bring your products, all of you bring your products. We will show your product to our realtors. And anyone they like, they will sell. So some realtors groups have as much as 60,000 products. Sorry, 60,000 realtors, not 60,000 products. Are you following me? Some have as high as 100,000. I remember having a conversation with the owner of the largest realtor group in Nigeria. Right? So I say Nigeria in Africa, the largest in Africa. And I was just looking at them, having conversations with them, and see how properties sell out. Are you following me? So the realtors groups is one of the best places you can start. So let me show you something. Now, remember what I said? So there's a group and they can have up to 50. So you just, anytime the client says, oh, I want ABCD, you quickly check. Oh, you say, we have a property in. So I'm going to tell you the advantage of realtor group. Let me show you an example here. Can you see this? Can you see this? If you can see what I'm showing you, say see. See. I'm going to show you how to join realtor groups. I'm going to drop the links. Can you see this? If you can see this sheet I'm showing you. Now, this is a sheet of one of the realtor groups. This is an old sheet. Listen, so look at Habitat Real Estate Limited, Veritas Homes and Properties, Gracias Global Properties. Can you see all the real estate companies that they've partnered with? So literally, I can come here, they show me the estates they are building, the location, the size, the title, the price, the company address, the company contact, and the commission. Are you following me? So somebody says, oh, I need a house in Bagada. Look here, Orange Terraces, Bagada. He said this is 4-bedroom terrace deed of conveyance. How much is this? 100 million, right? 6% direct means they'll give me 6% if I sell 100 million. 6% of 100 million is how much? That's 6 million. So can you see? And this is even a very old document. I just got it out just for the post trade. So this is how Realtor groups can generate for you. So you don't have to be chasing up and down. You just sit down and guess what? These Realtor groups are free. So let's wrap up and then I'll drop the links on how to join. So what are the advantages? The first advantage, like you should know by now, is variety. Number 2 is Realtor trips. So some of these days, these people will organize trips to go and see the land. So if you don't have a car, you don't have mobility, you just have to be disciplined enough to meet up where they are moving from. Are you with me? And they move, let's say, from, they could say something like, we're moving from Ikeja City Mall, we're going to Ekpe and back. You that you live in Bagada, you just take your bus to Ikeja City Mall. They'll take you through and all of that. Then next one is Realtor support. Remember, because, listen, for you, they are providing properties to sell. But what we don't know is these real estate companies, before they can list their properties, are you following me? Come on, are you following me? Before they can list their properties on these platforms, are you with me? These real estate companies pay heavy because they know once they list their products on the platform, their products can get sold out fast. I mean, they can pay sometimes 15, sometimes 20 million to list their product. But guess what? For the realtors to join a realtor group, usually it's free. Are you following me? So because they want to be able to say, we sold out A, we sold out B, what do you think they'll be doing for their realtors? They'll be training their realtors to be very good. Are you with me? Training you how to sell, training you how to close deals. Now, when you can do that consistently, every time a company brings their product, the product gets sold out. Are you following me? And thus, the company will keep coming back. Other companies will keep coming back. Are you me? Keep bringing their 15, keep bringing their 20 million. I know entire projects that are sold out by one realtor. So, realtor support, realtor trade. What do I mean by realtor support? Now, let me tell you. Remember I said something like, in the other, when you're doing real estate companies directly, sometimes they won't pay you. That can almost never happen here. These guys will fight for you. As a matter of fact, it's even these guys that pay you. So your commission is covered. There are companies I have never seen. I don't know them. Are you with me? But then we sell for them and they pay money into my account. Right? And the last one is track record advantage also. So I mean that just I've explained that. And the cause is that sometimes these things are saturated. Right? And then they have location emphasis. For example, bulk of the realtor groups that I currently know are in Lagos. Right? I'm still going to research, try to find some for Abuja, try to find some for Benin, so that I can share with you people. And it's really difficult. And sometimes they may have reduced commission. Just may have reduced commissions. And all of that. Does that make sense, guys? So have you received value today? Let me pause here and ask before I fire on. So we have reduced commissions, like I was saying. And so where the company directly give 10%, some realtor groups, because they only give you 8%. Does that make sense? Are you with me, guys? If you're with me, type with you. If you're with me, type with you. If you're with me, type with you. Great. So I want to pause here. We have 2 minutes to our end. So I'm going to do something for us. I'm going to post a link. And if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe later, check the description. I'm going to post a link to join, I think, the 3 of the largest realtor groups in Africa, right? So you can join them and then you can see properties. You'll go to their group. They'll share marketing materials consistently with you. And then you'll be able to interface from there. Does that make sense? Right? Remember, Rome is not built in a day. Right? Rome is not built in a day. So remember, that's why I started my real estate training by telling you guys, you've got to make up your mind that this is what you're going to do for a long time. For a long time. You're going to have to be consistent here and all of that. So, back to what I'll say. So, I like to stop here because of time. I have 2 minutes to shut down this session. But did you guys receive value? So, ensure you follow us on Zee Realty HQ, TikTok, Instagram, right? Everywhere. I don't know that. Did you guys receive value today? I think today's session was really insightful. So, once we drop this call, I'm going to send links to join realtor groups on the tribe. and then you can see what I'm saying, right? So I want you guys to take screenshots as usual. These trainings are free. These trainings are at no cost. Take screenshots and tag us at HQ. 0 to HQ. Right? Tag us at 0. So usually these groups, I'll show you. You see how to join them, but sometimes they're on WhatsApp, sometimes they have WhatsApp and Telegram, sometimes they're everywhere. But usually some of them are usually primarily domiciled on WhatsApp. Right? That's your groups. Okay. And all of that where you see messages. So every day they literally send you properties. Okay, we have this to sell, we have that to sell, and you can reach out and all of that. So does that make sense, guys? So take screenshots, share on Instagram, tag us at 0 to HQ. I want to please beg you to actually take screenshots and do that today. If I haven't been doing that before. So thank you so much, guys, for being here in this edition. We're going to have the next. Okay, yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? I remember that I don't take questions, and I don't think it's a complete tribe meeting if I'm not able to get you. Do you have questions? Let me answer 1, 2 questions. Come on. Do you have questions? Do you have questions? Like I said, I've done a lot of training today. I will still do a lot of training. Like I said, cost me a lot. We're doing 52 weeks of training for you at no cost, at 0 cost. So just do me a favor, take a screenshot, post on Instagram, tag us. Tribe meeting was the best today. I gave so much value. Right, this training is worth millions. The Zee Trybe is the best real estate tribe for Gen Z. Get hype it. Tell them the truth. Just in the next show, you get better. Right. So, any questions? From what I can see, there are no questions. So thank you so much, guys. As usual, the replay will be up on YouTube. I will organize and send these links to you guys so you can join and see what I'm talking about. Okay, somebody says what's the difference between direct and indirect sale? We'll talk about that, but usually they'll train you on Realtor groups, right? Maybe we'll talk about that. Just want to talk about that. Thanks. So I think we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Thank you so much once again. Have an amazing day, everybody.